は僕をダメなやつと思う鏡を見つめる僕を見下げているけど中には大きな力希望がある Maybe I'm a little young but you don't know what I've become Can't you see it in my face A demon living in disguise but you can see the killer in my eyes I've got a look you can't escape You can't escape No one understood the world that I was making Look me in the face and tell me I was faking Maybe I'm a little young But you don't know what I've become Can't you see it in my face A demon living in disguise But you can see the killer in my eyes I've got a look you can't escape What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let 'em burn it out. ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away. Burn away, we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway. And we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway. You think you've got my number figured out? A motive born in drought and brevity. And if I'm not the soul of your design, I blatantly decline your remedy. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. I wasn't always just a single shade, a palette full of gray in reverie. And I can burn it brighter than the sun. I have a golden gun inside of me. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else. And if I fall behind, ignoring all the signs, and if I lose the fight, I still rage against the night. Don't box I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine.
Hey, what's happening? We're back again. It's Dysfunctional Gaming talking D&D. We're on episode 66.
That's the one.
And yeah, that is the one. I am Thundercat0420. Over there is GM Patch Nasty. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm good. You look fresh.
Yeah, I was almost dead.
Like,
But now I'm undead.
okay, all right, good. It looks good. For audio listeners, Thundercat has gotten rid of his hobo beard, and now he looks like a contributing member of society. So he looks professional with his scally cap, as opposed to someone you would hand a dollar bill to.
Or a tip, because I
Yeah,
do a good job.
Right. Not because he needs
I'm
money. Will work for food.
Nope, that's not why.
Okay.
I mean, I worked for food today.
Yeah, well, I mean, essentially, even people who have a job work for food. Because
Exactly.
that's what, yeah.
So this week we're talking about zombies, a monster week this week, and I picked zombies. But before we get into that, what did we talk about last time in GM Patch Nasty?
We talked about subclasses. I'm fairly positive we talked about bards. Right, it was either bards or warlock. No, it's bards. Yeah, we talked about bards. Yeah. If you want to catch that for all of your ear potatoes, it's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor FM, all the places where you can find your podcasts. It's also in visual format if you are on Dysfunctional D&D on YouTube. Look for the squid. Thank you for being there who are watching this on YouTube, and thank you for those of you that are in the Twitch audience as well.
Yeah. Search for Dysfunctional D&D or Talking D&D. Cool. Well, that puts us right into our first topic, and our topic for the week is zombies.
Zombies. So, before we start getting into like stats and blocks, there are several things that all zombies share. The first is one big trait that all zombies will have, and you can make anything a zombie by using said trait. It's called Undead Fortitude. Also, if you want to make something a zombie, you turn its type, its creature type, from whatever it is to undead, and then it doesn't speak any. It understands all languages that it spoke in life, but it can't speak. Next, you will also want to drop their intelligence, their wisdom, and their charisma to at least a -1. Intelligence is far, far low. But yeah, that's most zombies will have all three of those, all four of those things. They're also typically evil. You might get away with like a neutral zombie if it's a necromancer zombie.
Yeah,
but
that's
probably
what I was
evil.
thinking. Like a thrall would be.
Yeah, I mean it's still evil. It's just being controlled. That's where it lies. But
also, you said it at the beginning. What was it?
Undead Fortitude?
Yes, the Undead Fortitude. Tell us about that.
So, Undead Fortitude. So, if zombies HP, we'll just take a base zombie, hits 0. A zombie's HP is 22. If that number is to reach 0, it makes a Constitution saving throw with a DC of 5 plus the damage taken, unless the damage is radiant or from a critical hit. So, zombies are pretty beefy when it comes to con saves. So a regular zombie, I think, has a +3. So if you do one amount of damage to take the zombie down, it's a 6 DC. They're probably going to succeed, and then the zombie is back at 1 HP. It does not go down unless you hit it with radiant or a crit.
Zombies are great. Like starting. What's up with my camera? Oh, I know why. The light's on. The zombies are a great like early game horde monster for a DM.
They're also they're a good late game mob.
Well, that's the other thing, and then you can add in, like I did with Fight for the Forest, add in the necromancer who created them, or give the necromancer, let the necromancer have an ogre as well to make it a little bit tougher, and
Mhm.
let me just shut this light off. But go ahead, tell
Yeah,
tell
take your
us some
time.
more.
So, with zombies, quite one of my favorite things to use when it's early, late, or mid game because of the undead fortitude, and then you can give anything undead fortitude, and then it's a zombie. If you get like mimic zombies, that's uh like it has a pseudopod that can slam, and you stick to it, and if it hits if you knock it down, it can still live. That is fun. Zombie plants, um, mostly known as blights, but then you can also add the same thing. Maybe like a necromantic druid is controlling plants, and then you can skin like all kinds of like zombie trifrons that have like 5 HP, unless they take fire or slashing damage, or a critical hit, something like that. But yeah, I like a good old zombie. Plus, also
I had a blast running them against you guys the other night and a couple weeks ago.
well, the zombie thing, like you can do the whole Walking Dead thing, and that can be your only bad guys for the whole thing. And then you have commoners and just undead fortitude. Boom. Maybe you've got a band of heroes, and you've got to figure out why everyone's a zombie now. But it's one of the it's like zombies are up there with goblins, right up there with anything that I can reskin and just use one little thing from a goblin or just a stat block.
Let's
And
go
then make
back.
it a zombie.
Let's go back to the like Walking Dead D&D game for a second, because that
Okay.
sounds super cool.
How so?
So you were saying like the commoner, you take the commoner, instead of it being a commoner, it's an NPC that will talk. Like, let's say, I don't know, it was like season 3. If you don't watch Walking Dead, spoiler alert. It was season 3, I think, when they met the doctor. They were living on the farm, and then they go to the prison, and the prison was
Oh yeah.
and they fight the guy with the eye patch. I think I forget who. I forget
The
the guy's
governor,
name.
3 and 4, yeah.
The governor. Yes, that guy.
Mhm.
So like the governor is an NPC that they befriended, and then they kill him or fight him. And if he got turned into a zombie after, because of the Walking Dead, like everyone that dies ends up becoming a zombie anyways.
A zombie, yeah.
Um
That's first season shit. If you haven't
yeah.
seen that, then get the fuck over it.
So like with that, now you're making the NPC into the zombie, so it keeps all of the stuff that he's built along the way. He's not just a commoner at that point. He's also stronger. He's also
Yeah,
static.
he's static.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you're just dropping the undead fortitude on there and dropping a
So-
couple of the stats down. Like, so at that point he's still like that villain becomes the tougher villain. That's almost a CR2 or a CR3
Mhm.
like zombie.
It's
So
a
he's
nasty
also a
like,
villain that could turn into a zombie. And that's cool.
but the thing is like so how I did my little zombie apocalypse campaign in my head, anybody who's not a zombie is a commoner. They're a survivor. They're struggling to survive, probably, if they don't have like weapons and they're not an adventurer.
Right.
The big thing is shops don't exist. Resources are fucking scarce. Like
Mhm.
you either have to make stuff, you raid a place and you gain total maybe everything found in a climbing kit from that whole building. Maybe like a couple days worth of rations, so on and so forth. But the one underlying trait that everyone would have is if you die, you come back as a zombie. Like, so that would be almost a trait, kind of like a curse or maybe like a disease. I want to say curse.
It's like a disease or a curse. Yeah,
I'm gonna say curse simply because of certain classes being immune to disease. So I don't want to have that conversation either. No class is immune to curse.
right.
Remove curse only works to a certain effect. So, yeah.
You could have it. You could have your end goal be like there, like the Tomb of Annihilation. Got to go and like
stopping what's causing
what's causing it. Yeah.
I'll put some thought into it. But the trick is like nobody wants to play in a scarce resource campaign because if they're using material components, it's going to be hard to come by like diamonds and shit, and that's the point. But I found
True.
like when you,
True.
yeah, like it revivify is like 500 gold pieces worth of diamonds. That's going to take, in my mind, if resources are scarce, and you don't have somebody who knows the underground, probably at least 2 months real time of maybe finding and mining a big diamond deposit for like resources like that to stave off the zombie infection. But like that's something that as a DM you would want to plan out. Be like, all right, they want to get some diamonds. Let's try and figure out a way to get like a big deposit. Like let's give them 2,000 gold pieces worth of diamonds. So that way that's 4 revivifies. That's 4 staving off of people dying. Or if someone dies, they can come back. But
They have to find where it is. They don't know where it is. It's I got you.
who else is trying to find it? That's another thing.
Who has it?
Who has it?
Or who has some of it?
Mm-hmm. Who's on their way already?
Yeah. Maybe they only find bits and pieces as they go, and then it's like a cookie trail to the
to like Terminus.
To new NPCs for you to
exactly a new settlement for you to either burn to the ground or hopefully join and establish. Like that's
and then when you join
like,
and establish it, you overrun it with zombies because the dumb kid went out and left the gate unlocked, and then you have to figure out who's coming with you, who's surviving. Like I like that idea a lot. That's a cool idea.
I have a little notebook that has like I watch a show and I write down like a D&D campaign around the show, like the overlying plot. Remember the Supernatural one that you murdered Griff with the fucking snowballs?
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, all right, that's easy because you just insert monster, insert big monster that they can't take out until 4 episodes later. And then maybe that monster works for another big evil monster. And then there's like so on and so forth. Game of Thrones is the worst one that I had.
Game of Thrones? Oh, gosh.
Because it's a lot of role play and like one big fight. And no dragons.
No dragons. So the last, you gotta
bunch of dick.
You gotta play you gotta play for 7 years to get to the dragon.
So let's get in. Let's talk about some zombies.
All right, let's get into our first zombie. We're gonna go by CR, and we're using 5e tools.
So that gives us every book that's out that's published.
We have Icewind Dale's Rime of the Frost Maiden had made a kobold zombie, an Icewind kobold zombie. I'm gonna read the info about it first.
Mm-hmm.
None. Okay. The necromancer Veline Harple has Icewind kobold guides in her employ, including a pair that died when and were turned into zombies using animate dead spells. Cold climate helps to preserve their dead flesh.
Smart.
Cool. So they got armor class of 9 because they have scraps of hide armor. A normal zombie would have an 8 AC. Their speed is 20, like most undead. They get dark vision at 60 feet. They have the undead fortitude. They have unusual nature.
They're also proficient with wisdom saving throws. Don't forget that. Because that's a big thing to remember. Instead of a -2, they are at a +0 when they roll.
True.
Mm-hmm.
And they're immune to poison, as most zombies are.
I think every zombie.
And then they have unusual nature. The zombie doesn't require air, food, drink, or sleep, which is most
every zombie.
Zombies. And they have a javelin, melee weapon attack. And they can, they can't throw it.
Nope, they just stab.
Yep. +1.
No slam.
1 target. 1d6 piercing damage. +1.
-1.
Oh, -1. That's right.
I love a kobold. Next, we're moving into the Ash zombies. These are featured in the Lost Mines of Phandelver. For all of you starter sets, that's where you'll experience these. These are kind of shitty, simply because AC of 8, HP of 22, speed of 20 feet. Most zombies have that. These are strong. They're not Dexy, not smart, not wise, not charismatic, but they are also proficient in wisdom saving throws, immune to poison, and immune to the poison condition. Have a 60-foot dark vision sense. Unlike other zombies, they have an ash pup. The first time the zombie takes damage, any living creature within 5 feet of the zombie must succeed on a DC con save or gain disadvantage on attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks for a minute. Essentially, you're poisoned. A creature can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turn, ending the effect early with a successful save. They have undead fortitude, and they have a slam. Not a lot for those.
Then you have the
So these zombies were created by the magical devastation when Mount Hotenau erupted 30 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
They used the zombie stat block with the following ash puff straight. That's really how those different, and so they are more like volcanic ash in structure.
Moving on to the Tomb of Annihilation, you would get
These ones are fun.
The yellow musk zombie. A yellow musk zombie, musk creeper, is an unholy vine whose flowers resemble an orchid's. Bright yellow and with splashes of purple, these flowers expel a musk that attracts prey. A yellow musk creeper clings to walls, pillars, gravestones, doorframes, or statuary in shadowy locations, remaining motionless until it strikes. A yellow musk creeper destroys the minds of humanoids, then implants bulbs in those it kills. 24 hours later, after being implanted, a bulb sprouts a creeper vine that magically animates the host corpse, turning it into a yellow musk zombie under the young vine's control. In addition to protecting the defenseless plant, the zombie acts as fertilizer for the young creeper vine, which grows to full size in 7 days. Once it is fully grown, the new yellow musk creeper becomes mobile and bursts from its zombie's host, whereupon the zombie collapses in a mound of dead offal. If the zombie is destroyed before the creeper emerges, the creeper withers and dies. That's fucking awesome.
Yep.
I want to look at the picture.
You guys never dealt with those.
Oh, it's like a little dwarf with the vine sticking out of his back. They get the slam. Armor class is 9, which is one more than a normal zombie. Blind sight up to 30 feet. And it's immune to charmed and exhaustion.
Not immune to poison.
Nope. But yeah, that's a pretty cool concept on a zombie. That's all right.
I got the boring one. I got zombies. Here we go. Regular plain old zombies. We talked about them. I'm skipping it. Moving on to the next one. So these ones are in the Explorer's Guide to Wildemount. They're called husk zombies. These things are terrifying. Because they have an armor class of 10. They have 37 HP. They're proficient with Constitution saving throws. So on their undead fortitude, they have a +5, which is me.
Geez.
Yeah, immune to poison, immune to being poisoned. It's a CR1, and it's also got Curse of the Husk. A humanoid slain by a melee attack from the zombie revives as a husk zombie on its next turn. No time, just 6 seconds. It has multi-attack as opposed to just one slam. It makes claw attacks. For each of these attacks that reduces a creature to 0 HP, the zombie can make an additional claw attack. So it's +5, 1d6 +3, and then you have the variant, which is a husk zombie burster. Some husk zombies become bloated with disease and bile. Their frenzied state, pushing them to rush other living creatures, explode, and spread their horrid infection. A husk zombie burster has the following additional action option. First, the zombie explodes and is destroyed. Each creature within 5 feet of it must make a DC 12 con save, taking 14 or 4d6 poison damage on a failed save, or half as much on a success. A humanoid creature killed by this damage rises as a husk zombie after a minute.
So,
Terrifying.
I think of those bloated ones from the video game Left 4 Dead. Yep.
Yeah. As soon as I was reading that, I was like, these are terrifying. And then, do I have any info? The wastes of Eastern One Windir retain many curses and corruptions from the time of the calamity, the worst of which pervert the sanctity of death. One such curse manifested as a terrible roving fog that draws the corpses of the fallen to rise as hot zombies. Resilient undead of frightening speed and bloodlust. What is their speed? 35 feet. Okay, that's terrifying even more. And
Yep.
bloodlust as well. Some of these more heinous fiends that walk these scarred lands of feed on the life force of the living, leaving these terrible undead in their wake. So, other undead that we may cover on later episodes, we'll talk about those ones when that comes around. These are terrifying.
All
They're
right, we
like Reaver zombies, and they're all like bony.
fast.
Ugh. They're fast. Don't like it. Nope.
All right, we got the Curse of Strahd zombie.
Woof.
Strahd zombie. Strahd zombies are undead that serve the vampire Strahd von Zarovich. Created from the long dead guards of Castle Ravenloft, they were called into being through dark magic by Strahd himself. They get 30 hit points. They have the poison immunities, dark vision 60 feet, but they get the loathsome limb trait, which is
they don't have undead fortitude.
They don't have undead fortitude, but the loathsome limb trait is pretty fucking cool. Whenever the zombie takes at least 5 bludgeoning or slashing damage at one time, roll a d20 and determine what else happens to it. 1 to 8, one leg is severed from the zombie if it has any legs left. 9 to 16, one arm is severed from the zombie if it has any arms left. 17 to 20, the zombie is decapitated. If the zombie is reduced to 0 hit points, all parts of it die. Until then, a severed part acts as on the zombie's initiative and has its own action and movement. A severed part has an AC of 8. Any damage it takes is subtracted from the zombie's hit points. A severed leg is unable to attack and has a speed of 5 feet. A severed arm has a speed of 5 feet and can make one claw attack on its turn. With disadvantage on the attack roll, each time the zombie loses an arm, it loses a claw attack. If the head is severed, the zombie loses its bite attack and its body is blinded unless the head can see it. The severed head has a speed of 0 feet. It can make a bite attack, but only against a target in its space. The zombie's speed is halved if it's missing a leg. If it loses both legs, it falls prone. If it has both arms, it can crawl. With only one arm, it can still crawl, but its speed is halved. With no arms or legs, its speed is 0 feet, and it can't benefit from bonuses to speed. Like, I could see some like fun like explanations as a DM, like silly things you can say are happening like as the fight goes on without trying to give away all the stuff. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Gets a multi attack, one bite and 2 claw attacks. So if they get an early initiative, you better watch out.
All right, we're going to the forest now. And the Von Richten Guide to Ravenloft. Thundercat could have used these. The Swarm of Zombie Limbs. Among the undead, a lone zombie ranks far from the menacing. The horror of shambling dead lies not in their individual menace, though, but their numbers, their persistence, and their disregard for their own well-being. A throng of zombies will douse a forest fire with their own ashes or march into a dragon's maw until the monster chokes. In the course of their relentless marches, zombies may suffer all manners of trauma, potentially reducing them to masses of crawling limbs, infecting them with terrible diseases, see Zombie Plague Spreader, or crushing an entire horde into a single rotting titan, see a Zombie Clot. Zombie Apocalypse. Among the types of horror adventures detailed in Chapter 2, tales of the uncontrolled zombie outbreaks orbit in the dark fantasy or the disaster horror genres. These horrors lie with the... this is all blah, 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 zombie apocalypses. But let's get to the stat block. They have an AC of 10. They have 22 hit points. They have a speed of 30 feet, and they have a climb speed of 30 feet, which is fucking terrifying as well. They are resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage.
Because
they are immune. They're immune to poison.
Yep.
Because they're a swarm, they are also immune to charmed, exhaustion, frightened, grappled, paralyzed, petrified, poisoned, prone, restrained, and stunned. They have blind sight of out to 30 feet. So let's get to the meat and potatoes since they are a CR1. They have swarm. They can occupy a creature's space and vice versa, and the swarm can move through any opening large enough for a tiny limb. The swarm can't regain any hit points or gain temporary hit points. They do not have the undead fortitude trait, but they do have the unusual nature, so they don't require air, food, drink, or sleep because of their hands and feet. Now, let's get into the actions. The swarm will either make one undead mass attack. Oh, they make one undead mass attack and one grasping limbs attack. The undead mask is a +4 to hit, reach of 0 feet, one target in the swarm space. Hit is a 1d6 plus 2 or 1d4 plus 2 if the swarm is half or hit of its hit points or fewer. And then you have grasping limbs. And this is, I assume, the bread and butter of this. +4 to hit, reach of 0, one creature in the swarm space, 2d6 necrotic damage, and that creature must succeed on a DC 12 strength save or be restrained. It can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, taking 2d6 necrotic damage on a failed save. The creature is freed if it succeeds on a saving throw. The swarm moves out of that creature's space, or the swarm dies. So, I'm very glad you didn't use those. Thank you.
I liked my idea better.
I liked your idea better. Those are terrifying. I don't like that. They are a medium swarm of tiny undead.
I feel like the way I set it up was like the Black Rose it was like, I'm gonna just collect zombie arms. He just like put zombie arms in his room. He's like, yes, this is going to be great when people try to come in here. Like that's how I see. Like I just saw him doing that, so that's what I feel like he did. One of the things I used.
Yes.
Ogre zombie. A large undead. Armor class is 8. Hit points are 85. The speed is 30. It is a beast. It has the saving throw for wisdom, immune to poisons, dark vision up to 60 feet. They got the undead fortitude, but instead of a slam attack, they have a morning star. And they run forward with a morning star and hit with a +6. They have to one target, dealing 13 bludgeoning damage or 2d8 plus 4.
Quick and easy.
Have anything to say about him?
Dark servants, hitting swarms, and mindless soldiers. They're just the same thing as zombies.
From somewhere in the darkness, a gurgling moan is heard. A form lurches into view, dragging one foot as it raises. Yeah, that's the same thing as.
Yep.
Cool.
So, we're going to move on to something that I like to use, and I didn't use as much as I should have in Tomb of Annihilation. We're going to get into more types of zombies. This is the first one that they use. It's the Ankylosaurus zombie. Ankylosauruses are dinosaurs, and they are not immune to the zombie curse. So this is a huge undead that is unaligned. It has an AC of 14, 68 hit points, and the zombie speed of 20 feet. Immune to poison and being poisoned. It has the undead fortitude as well, and it's a challenge rating of 3 because it has a tail attack. It's 10 feet, and it does 46 plus 4. Again. Oh, it has a hit +6 to hit, reach 10 feet, 46 plus 4 bludgeoning damage, and if you hit the creature with your tail, it needs to make a strength saving throw, DC 14, or be knocked prone. Dinosaur zombies are beefy, and then having the fact that, you got to go through 67 hit points to hopefully kill it if it doesn't fail that Constitution saving throw.
Any info on it?
Several new zombie variants are presented below. For more information on zombies, see those monster manual. It covers 3 that it says right here: Ankylosaurus zombies, Durillion zombies, and Tyrannosaurus zombies. Durillions are actually what we're covering next. If you would like to get into those, there, Thundercat. What's a Durillion?
It says for the Ankylosaurus, though, it says the creature is slow and barely aware of its surroundings.
That's like a zombie.
Durillion, large undead, armor class of 11. It has a natural armor. It has 59 hit points. It has a climb speed of 30 and a walking speed of 30. Immune to poison, dark vision up to 60 feet, challenge rating 3. It is aggressive. As a bonus action, this zombie can move up to its speed toward a hostile creature that it can see. It has the undead fortitude, has a multi-attack. 5 attacks, 1 with its bite and 4 with its claws, because it has 4 arms. Plus 6 to hit with both. If you hit with the bite, it's 7 piercing damage or 1d6 plus 4. If you hit with the claws, it's 1d4 plus 4. The picture, yeah, it's just a big gorilla with 4 arms that became an undead.
Because Durilions are 4-armed apes with white fur.
Yep. Durilion zombies are slower than their non-undead counterparts, but no less fierce. Necromancy energy empowering them fuels their murderous hearts with their hunger for living flesh.
So, now we're getting into the fun stuff. We're getting into the higher than 3 CRs. This is from the Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. We talked a bit about it just a moment. It's called the Zombie Plague Spreader. It has an AC of 10, 78 hit points, and a speed of 30 feet. It has resistances to necrotic damage, immune to poison damage. It cannot be charmed, exhausted, or poisoned. Dark vision of 60 feet, and it understands all languages it knew in life but can't speak. It has undead fortitude, just like its regular counterparts. Unusual nature, so it does not need air, food, drink, or sleep. Now, it has a viral aura. Any creature that starts its turn within 10 feet of the plague spreader must make a DC 12 con save. On a failed save, the creature is poisoned and cannot regain hit points until the end of its next turn. On a successful save, the creature is immune to the plague spreader's viral aura for 24 hours. The plague spreader has these different attacks. It can make 2 slam attacks that are a +5 to hit. It has reach of 5 feet. It does 1d6 plus 3 bludgeoning damage plus 2d8 necrotic damage. And it can do this called Virulent Miasma once per day. The plague spreader releases toxic gas in a 30-foot radius sphere centered on itself. Each creature in that area must make a DC 12 con save, taking 4d6 poison damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. A humanoid reduced to 0 hit points by this damage dies and rises as a zombie. See the stat block in the monster manual, which I breezed over. 1 minute later, the zombie acts immediately after the plague spreader in the initiative count. So, that is the Wizards of the Coast way of spreading your zombie curse.
To the monster manual for a CR. Oh, do you want to talk about what they are? Because I think there was a little info about it.
No, it's the same thing as what was the other one I did? Swarm as zombie lives. Among the undead as a lone zombie ranks from most manifests. Yeah.
Okay. Well, on to the stat block for the Beholder zombie, a CR5. A large undead. Armor class 15, natural armor, 93 hit points, 0 feet walking, but 20 feet hover, flying. They have a +2 to their wisdom saving throw, poison and prone immunities. Dark vision to 60 feet. Understands deep speech and undercommon, but can't speak it. Undead fortitude, but they get a bite as a melee weapon attack, +3 to hit, or 4d6 piercing damage. Or they get eye rays because they're beholders.
Yay!
Beholders! The zombie uses a random magic eye ray, choosing a target that it can see within 60 feet. Paralyzing ray. The target creature must succeed on a DC 14 Constitution saving throw or be paralyzed for 1 minute. The target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each turns, ending the effect on a success. Fear ray. The target creature must succeed on DC 14 Wisdom saving throw or be frightened for 1 minute. Target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each turns. Enervation ray. The target creature must succeed on DC 14 Constitution saving throw or taking 36 or 8d8 necrotic damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. And then disintegration ray. The target is if the target is a creature, it must succeed on DC 14 dexterity saving throw or take 45 10d8 force damage. If this damage reduces a creature's 0 hit points, its body becomes a pile of fine gray dust.
Yay!
If the target is a larger or smaller non-magical object or creature creation of magical force, it is disintegrated without a saving throw. If the target is a huge or larger non-magical object or creation of magical force, the ray disintegrates a 10-foot cube of it. Cool. Fun
Yep.
times.
And it's got the same info as regular zombies because Wizards is lazy. I get to go into a zombie that I got to use against Thundercat and the Vandals and my lovely fiance. The Greater Zombie is featured in the Tales from the Yawning Portal, more specifically, the Tomb of Horrors. Many of those who brave the Tomb of Horrors believe they have reached their ultimate destination when they disturb a skeletal figure inside a secluded crypt. It is, in fact, a greater zombie, a creature magically created from a humanoid corpse to be far more resilient than a typical zombie. So, the greater zombie has an AC of 15, has 97 hit points, a speed of 30 feet. It's got a +1 to its wisdom saving throws. It resists cold and necrotic damage. It is immune to poison damage, immune to being charmed, exhausted, frightened, paralyzed, and poisoned. Dark vision about 60 feet. Has the ability to turn resistance, so the zombie has advantage on saving throws that against any effects that turn it. Undead Fortitude, which all zombies have. It makes 2 melee attacks. It's an empowered slam, so it's a +7 to hit. It does 1d6 +4 bludgeoning damage and 2d6 necrotic damage with its 5 feet of reach. When you use the Greater Zombie in the Tomb of Horrors, it is the replacement for Acerak, because Acerak is believed to be a lich, when in fact that's the fake ending. And you use the greater zombie, and then you just start counting backwards from 10 and describing the tomb being destroyed. If they stay past there longer than 10 seconds, nothing happens, and they can progress further. That's the greater zombie. I was like, oh, cool. The only thing that can hurt it is a morning star that you find in the same room. It makes a loud thunderous crack if you hit it with him once, and you hit him with it twice, and it immediately destroys it. I was like, oh, that's fucking brilliant. Fucking brilliant. Gary Gygax, you're a terribly awesome, amazing human being.
Not happy about what's next.
Oh, this? Yeah, I was hoping that I got to read it, but yeah, you do.
Challenge rating 6, the Zombie Clot from Van Richten's Guide. Armor class is 12. The picture is fucking frightening.
Did you describe it for our audio listeners?
Jeez. It's like a bunch of bodies created into one bigger. It's like a Voltron of zombies.
It looks kind of like if you've ever seen Disney's Hercules, the Earth Titan, except with one head, but it's made out of zombies as opposed to rock. And it's got a little adventurer running away.
Yeah, it's like it's like the Marshmallow Man, but zombie bodies.
It's a shambling mountain made out of zombies.
It's so terrifying.
What's so terrifying about it?
Gross. Look at that thing. It's disgusting.
No, there's a stat block too.
104 hit points. 12 armor class. Speed of 40. Has a saving throw constitution +6. And it has undead fortitude. Conditioned immunities are poisoned, charmed, exhaustion, paralyzed, petrified, and stunned. Dark vision out to 60 feet. Deathly stench. Any creature that starts its turn within 10 feet of the zombie must succeed on a DC 14 con save or take 9 or 2d8 poison damage and be poisoned until the start of the creature's next turn. Then undead fortitude, unusual nature, multi-attack. The zombie makes 2 slam attacks. +8 to hit, 10 feet reach, and it's 3d8 +5 bludgeoning damage. And it also has a thing called Flesh Entomb, and it recharges on a 5 or 6, like a dragon breath would recharge. The zombie flings a detached clump of corpses at a creature it could see within 30 feet of it. The target must succeed at a DC 16 strength saving throw or take 16 or roll 3d10 bludgeoning damage. And if the target is larger or smaller, is a large or smaller creature, it becomes entombed in dead flesh. The creature entombed in dead flesh is restrained, has total cover against attacks and other effects outside the dead flesh, and takes 3d6 necrotic damage at the start of each of its turns. The creature can be freed if the dead flesh is destroyed. The dead flesh is a large object with 10 AC 10, 25 hit points, and immunity to poison and psychic damage.
That's amazing.
So cool.
Amazing. Yeah, I think I might have to use that in the next zombie thing I do. But I get to use something I've used before. I get to read about this. You've seen it in Fight for the Forest. I've used it in Tomb of Annihilation. It's great. More DMs should use these type of disgorging zombies. This is the Tyrannosaurus zombie. It is a huge undead, and it is unaligned. AC of 11, 136 HP, and a speed of 40, which is absolutely crazy. I'm going to go down the stat block because it's pretty mean. It's got a 25 strength, so a +7, -2 to its dex, a +4 to its constitution, and who gives a shit about the rest of that because this is just a fearsome eating machine. Immune to poison, immune to being poisoned, has dark vision of out to 60 feet, is a challenge rating of 8. Now, this is where we start to get into the crazy shit. The first thing I'll cover right now is it has undead fortitude, so all you zombie fans, it still has that. But what makes it so much fun is it can disgorge zombies. As a fucking bonus action, the Tyrannosaurus zombie can disgorge a normal zombie which appears in an unoccupied space within 10 feet of it. The disgorged zombie acts on its own initiative count. After a zombie is disgorged, roll a d6. On a roll of the 1, the Tyrannosaurus, the zombie runs out of zombies to disgorge and loses the trait. If the Tyrannosaurus zombie still has this trait when it dies, 1d4 normal zombies erupt from the corpse at the start of its next turn. These zombies act on their own initiative count. So not only is it a fearsome eating predator, it can also produce more not as fearsome eating predators. But just like its counterpoint, it has a multi-attack. The Tyrannosaurus zombie makes 2 attacks, one with its bite, one with its tails, and it can't make both attacks at the same target. The bite has a +10 to hit. It has a reach of 10 feet. It does 4d12 plus 7 piercing damage. If the target is medium or smaller, it is grappled. The escape is a DC of 17. Until it ends, the target is restrained, and the Tyrannosaurus zombie can't bite another target or disgorge zombies. So you lose a little bit. However, you can bite down on them and crunch. And if that wasn't enough, it has a tail attack. +10 to hit, reach 10 feet, does 3d8 bludgeoning damage +7. Oh boy, I do like me a dinosaur zombie. The info on the Tyrannosaurus zombie. A Tyrannosaurus zombie has a gullet full of smaller zombies, which you can disgorge. These zombies are under the zombies are not under the Tyrannosaurus. It doesn't control the zombies it spits out. That was a lot of Z's and a lot of S's. I don't like it. But round us off, Thundercat.
Finally, with our CR9, we have the Frost Giant Zombie. An unknown Aeolian object of immense power and mystery was uncovered and brought to the fortress of the Dead Jarl in Iselcross. To please the ruling Frost Giant, Vanessa Berg. The object's unstable nature unleashed a burst of corroding arcane power, ravaging the denizens of the stronghold with twisting necromantic energies, transforming them into monstrous, rime-infused undead. These hulking brutes now wander the ruined landscape surrounding their cursed home, hunting and destroying all living things with a frightening ferocity. The battered, butchered, and frozen remains of would-be heroes litter battle sites where these undead giants have been encountered. Underestimating these towering horrors has been the folly of numerous expeditions to the northern reaches of Iselcross, the only rumors often finding their way back as proof that these frigid monsters even exist. Huge undead. Huge. Armor class.
Huge.
Armor class 15 patchwork armor. They have 138 hit points. Their speed is 40. Saving throws plus 2 to wisdom. They are immune to cold and poison. They're conditioned as well, poison. 60 feet, dark vision, numbing aura. Any creature that starts its turn within 10 feet of the zombie must make a DC 17 Constitution saving throw. Unless the save succeeds, the creature can't make any more than one attack or take a bonus action on that turn.
Mean.
Got your undead fortitude, and then you also have a multi-attack. The zombie makes 2 weapon attacks. Melee weapon attack of Great Axe, which is plus 10 to hit, reach 10 feet, and it's 3d12 plus 6 slashing damage. Then you have a hurl rock, ranged weapon attack, plus 10 to hit, 60 to 240 feet. So range is 60 feet, regular, disadvantage 240. The hit is 4d10 plus 6 bludgeoning damage. And then they have Freezing Stare. The zombie targets one creature can see within 60 feet of it. The target must succeed on a DC 17 Constitution saving throw or take 10d6 cold damage and be paralyzed until the end of its next turn. Damn.
So, yeah, for those of you that don't know, being paralyzed, so you are incapacitated, you can't move and speak, you automatically fail strength and dex saving throws, and attack rolls against you have advantage. And anytime someone hits you, if they're within 5 feet of you, it's a critical hit. So if you're paralyzed, and it's
and that's
not
also
good.
from the Explorer's Guide to Wildmount.
That's Matt Mercer being mean.
I
You
like
think
it.
zombies aren't that bad? Let's make them a giant.
That's why you create your own character things. I created zombie flamingos. Fuck.
I've made the Walking Dead campaign. Honestly, I still think my favorite made zombies ever was towards the end of season 1 for Critical Role. The fucking troll zombies. I remember he said that these trolls look undead, and I went, "Oh, you're a terrible person." That means they have undead fortitude and that bullshit troll regeneration crap. Ugh.
That's pretty dope.
That's mean. Well, they were also like level 18, so it makes sense.
I mean, I sent you to Pink Feather Island. They were all zombie flamingos.
Did they fly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they could fly. That's how they got to you when there was a loud squeak. The loud. You killed a
Baron Deer
couple.
wasn't there. I don't remember much of that one. I was Dudermont.
But anyways, that was good. Good stuff. Good zombie stuff.
So I see you can make anything a zombie as long as you throw it with that undead fortitude and you reduce some of its stats. If you want to make it something else that is also another undead creature, we'll have to cover that in a different monster episode for the ones that have higher intelligence, higher wisdom, higher charisma, like your liches, your mummies, your demi-liches, your vampires, all those guys. But zombies really are meant to really drain player actions. Like if they do enough damage and it passes the con save, then it's still up. Then that's another action to try and bring it down. And they don't do enough damage that next time, and I still save, and it's like, well, I'm sorry, you're going to be here for a minute.
Yeah, while the necromancer's escaping.
Right. That's the thing. Like even if there's no necromancer, like,
well, you know what I mean, though. Like it takes away actions. They can't get to that thing that they need to get to, and it's taking longer than they need to, and it makes them.
The one thing to remember as a player too, like most your run of the mill zombies are slow. So if you don't want, like, if you're trying to catch that necromancer that's escaping, you could potentially use your. Not even that. You don't even need to. Don't even disengage, because those things, if they try to dash, they're not going to be able to catch you, even if you're a halfling, because you can use your action dash.
I meant like disengage so they don't hit you and then run.
Oh yeah.
Then they won't catch you if you just walk. They're 20 feet away from them. You're 30 feet away from them. Even if you're a halfling, you're 5 feet away from them.
Zombies are slow. That's the trade-off. Zombies may take a beating and potentially keep on going, but you can outrun a zombie. It's hard to outrun the bigger zombies because they're faster, but you take them out, all you got left is little run-of-the-mill zombies. Nothing.
I've used zombies a bunch of times in different games, and they're fun.
I use zombies all the time.
It's a fun. I think it's a fun fight. Yeah, let's talk about maybe making a new kind sometime soon, or a new kind of undead creature instead of just a zombie. I think that would be fun. Maybe a homebrew day when we make something like that. All right, so I had an idea for a D&D minute this week.
Yeah, so I read that and I went, okay, I'm about this. He didn't say much, so let's do it. I started to get choppy. There we go. I'm back.
All right, so what I want to do is I want you to role play a new character in a shop, getting their like general goods. Like, so when you're creating your character, you have the choice to either take the weapons and stuff that they give you, or get money and buy the things you want. So
okay.
I want you to be a level 1 character and be in the shop looking for your things that, like, to go adventuring.
What
would you take?
Are you going to tell me what class I am, or am I picking my own class?
You could be whatever you want.
Okay.
But what would you grab? Yeah, like, what would you grab? All
right, so let's say we're Patch the Bard. Let's see, my starting equipment, 5d4. So I've got 130 gold into the little dice roll thing right there. Okay, I can use light armor. I can use simple weapons and hand crossbows, long swords, rapiers, short swords, musical instrument. Okay, so first thing I would want to buy is a musical instrument. I would buy probably a flute, like a little Willy Wonka piccolo. Fancy clothes.
As your armor?
Yeah.
Like,
no. It's lack of armor. Yeah.
Okay.
I would want to get a couple daggers, maybe a short sword. If I didn't get the short sword, I would probably get a disguise kit. Would be my big thing. Would be my and for a pack, if I still had the money, diplomat.
Oh, I see this.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So when I get into all kinds of trouble, I can change into my disguise.
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna say that's probably about 130 gold altogether, right there.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And then who knows where
I like that one.
Patch the Bard would go from there.
Pub.
I meant like in his life, but the pub's probably right where he would go right after that. Yeah,
first spot. Yeah. Yep. And then we would go to the next pub, and then we would find an empty pub, and then make it my pub by magical means.
There you go.
Modify memory. I get to modify a minute of its memory. Yep. Bam. You remember signing this fucking pub over to Patch. Patch's pub. Bam. That's mine now.
What do we have going on Friday night?
Friday night is another exciting episode for the fight for Garaxia. I don't remember where we are, but we are at a full party strength. Potato is back. We have still not leveled up. Vandal, I hope you were listening. We have still not leveled up.
Level 6, I get all my cool shit.
Do I get anything at level 6? Let's take a peek. Actually, I'll wait. I'll wait to say if I do or not.
Then we do not have the fight for the forest on Saturday. We don't have the fight for the forest on Saturday.
No, the fight for the forest has concluded. That is the end of that one, the short story.
I had fun.
And I had a blast. I won. I've never won D&D, but I won. Everybody else died except for Steve. And Bukesford died twice. No. But on Saturday, we have the session 0 for Larry Botter, the TBD named Arcane for the Academy for the Arcane Arts.
Wizard School.
Wizard School. The upcoming fun
Larry Botter.
Yeah, Larry Botter. The next campaign that will be starting on Saturdays and replacing the Fight for the Forest until I'm done with. They've graduate from Wizard School. So check that out. Session 0 will be on Saturday, 10 p.m.
I
Eastern
already know
Time.
my character. I already got him. I know exactly who I'm gonna be.
Okay, so here's how that will work. So as long as you don't put him on paper, that's cool. Just say what you want to do and how you're going to play it off. I will be asking our chat now, come up with a name for this school. I know it's the Academy for the Arcane. If you want to throw out a name, put it in the Tavern Talk in the Discord, shoot it at me or other people on Twitch, then we can use that and it'll be a little collaborative storytelling. But yeah, I'm excited. I haven't DM'd properly in a while.
And then we're back with survival nights where DD and I have been 2 weeks now in a row that we've done Green Hell. We beat Green Hell off stream, the regular game, and we started the DLC last night.
Yay!
So yeah, check us out on Monday nights at like 10:30. Survival nights with me and DD. And then next week,
we'll be talking about Ironhide subclasses. Yay! What will I get at level 6? Let's take a peek. Did I get it at level 6?
so we're going to be talking about the cleric subclasses. Check us out then Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget to go to our YouTube, Dysfunctional D&D. Subscribe, like, click the bell, press buttons. Just do it. And then
I get a 4th level spell.
And then go to our Twitter and check us out on Twitter. We have a Discord, all of those things going on. You can find us if you see the squid.
Look for the squid. You're in the right place.
And then you gonna be streaming it all this week?
I'm obligated to stream tomorrow because it'll be the last day for the entries for Cookie Tulu, I believe. Tomorrow, if you donate $5 today or tomorrow, your name is entered, and then you get to win the thing, Cookie Tulu behind me. That'll be framed and sent to so far Alter Ego, Wombat, or Fuzzrab. And now Fuzzrab has a lovely microphone, so I don't have to spend a bunch on shipping a fucking microphone to Fuzzrab. He sounds lovely.
I'll be streaming tomorrow as well, so maybe we can play some games as well.
Be on late. You know I'm closing tomorrow, so
I plan on
Destiny. That's the new thing. The Iron Banana.
And then yeah, and then Sunday. I'll be back Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday. I was like, because you took this previous Sunday off to watch wrestling in the Discord.
Yeah, I was kind of tired this Sunday. But anyways, thanks for everyone for being here, and we'll see you next week. Let's raid over to someone. I'm pretty sure I already know who I want to go to, which is Frog. Damn. In the chat, we're going to the ending screen. Here we go.
Someone's playing Dragon Horde. Or Horde of the Dragon Queen.
How's Randy doing?
Randy's been on a nice little vacation. I've been trying to learn how to rap from my good old friend Snoop, but it hasn't been going that well because we're both on like a little bit of a hiatus, you know. So I've been practicing my rapping skills.
I know Snoop's on something that's high, makes him high.
Yeah, you know,
if it's an ATIS, but it's
he's on a completely whole another level. Like he's got the whoop whistle and I don't. But you know, June is rap month. I'm gonna come up with stupid little raps, and then I'm gonna cover all them famous rap songs. I think the first one is gonna be "Regulators" because Warren G is amazing, from what I've been told. And
Okay,
R.I.P. to Nate
great.
Dogg.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait to hear this, Randy. Well, everyone have a great
Thank you.
day and be ready for Randy to do some raps. Randy raps.
Randy
All
raps.
right. All right. We'll see you guys soon. Love you guys. Bye.